And action. What's good, y'all boys, man? Welcome back to the channel. My journey of being a 29-year-old who's getting into comics for the first time. Hopefully you guys had a good 4th of July weekend. I know in Raleigh, North Carolina, it got kind of crazy. There was actually a lot of shootings here for some reason. So, you know, the last thing that I would want to happen to me is I'm out celebrating the birth of America and not being a communist, and all of a sudden I get my muffin tapped by some YN that's got switchy, and his street name is like Big Bloodbath or like a Super Murder or something like that. Not the coolest way you could go out. Not a whole lot of swag or in that, but I digress. Let's move on from that. The world's just getting crazy, man. Another crazy thing that happened to me. I had a flying squirrel in my dryer vent at 4 in the morning. I'm not lying to y'all. Check the video out.
Well, you probably wouldn't believe it, but there's a chipmunk under this right now that I've been hearing since 4 in the morning. So we're gonna figure out how to get this guy out of here. So much for getting to work early this morning. Or is this a squirrel? I don't know what the hell this thing is, man.
So, yeah, world's getting pretty crazy. Anyways, shout out to everybody that showed me some love on my last video, man. That was my first Comic-Con ever, as well as my first vlog, what I felt like was a true vlog, and it was pretty hard to make, not gonna lie. I felt really stupid doing it, but it turned out pretty good, I think, but y'all let me know. Anyways, before we kick the vlog off, you know we gotta jump into my top 3 books read last week. As always, spoiler alert, if you haven't read any of these, let's get into it. Coming in at the number 3 spot for books I read last week, The Punisher, issue 5. I was excited to finally get around to reading this because Jigsaw and the Punisher met up in an abandoned factory and someone's gotta die. This was kind of on like a horror type of feel though, this issue, because Jigsaw is wearing a Punisher costume that he made himself, except he made it out of people's dead skin and faces on his Ed Gein shit. So that is pretty nasty, but let's go ahead and show you guys my favorite panels from the book. So here we are with my favorite panels. If you're seeing a lot of green, I did some post-production magic to get rid of the color of the blood because YouTube doesn't like blood. If it's not green, I just let it rock. But either way, this is a gruesome ass fight scene, and it's just like what exactly I would be looking for if I'm trying to read The Punisher, so it definitely delivered. It's pretty gruesome to look at, but also I'm not one of those like freak fuck gore guys. Like everybody knows this dude, the kid you went to school with. You're on the bus to school in the morning and all of a sudden he's like, hey, you want to see a video of the cartel beheading this lady? I'm not one of those people, but you know, I can stomach a little bit of gore and it does make for a good action scene. So I was pretty happy with how this issue turned out, and I'm definitely excited for the next issue to come because now that Jigsaw is out of the way, oh yeah, spoiler alert, the Punisher kills him. Thank God. Get this freak fuck out of here. Someone has to fill the villain spot, so hopefully with issue 6, we're going to find out who that is. Anyways, on to book 2. Coming in at the number 2 spot of my top books I read last week, we have Spawn, issue 4. I finally got around to reading this issue, and I shouldn't have waited because this is... It just thundered pretty crazy. Anyways, I shouldn't have waited because this is the issue where Spawn and the Violator finally fight. And I'm not going to lie, the dynamic of them talking during the fight is a little bit funny. They're kind of like arguing with each other like they're siblings. And even Malbolgia shows up at one point and basically tells them, hey, I gave both of you guys your powers and you guys are arguing like 2 idiot kids. But the fight gets pretty gruesome. The Violator cuts Spawn's hand off and it's kind of like, bro... Spawn already can't get no cheeks from his wife because he's an undead zombie and she's remarried, and you want to go and cut his hand off? Like, he probably would beat his meat with that hand, but I guess Spawn's got better things to do than beat his meat. He's not really a gooner. Anyways, let's get into my favorite panel. So here's my favorite panel of this issue. Believe it or not, I actually really like this panel because of all the lettering and how big the words are. But this is when Spawn gets his arm chopped off. And he gets it chopped off because he tries to hit the Violator with another laser beam. And the Violator is basically like, nah, bruh, I'm going to take that. So, spoiler alert, Malbolgia, though, does end up giving Spawn his arm back. He regrows it back for him. So my boy has still got 2 arms, and we're going to need that because there's a lot of demon ass he's probably going to have to kick throughout the issues. So I'm excited to keep on reading and following through with that. Let's get into my top book of last week. Coming in at the number 1 spot for my top books read last week, we have Rook Exodus. Now, if you guys watched my previous videos, you might remember that the guy at the comic book shop wanted to make sure I was going to like this if I bought it. I kind of felt like he was trying to talk me out of it because he said it was obscure and a little bit niche for someone who was getting into comics, but I'm glad I ended up going through with the purchase because this was straight heat. If you don't know what it's about, quick summary: a company takes a group of people to this second planet, which could become a better Earth if they colonize it, and the company gives them these pieces of technology that can control the animals there. Our main character, Rook, he can control like crows, birds, shit like that, flying things. There's another guy that can control wild boars, and even at the end of the issue, a guy who can control bears shows up. The art of this book is insane. All the character designs are so sweet. The idea might sound stupid till you start reading it and see how everybody looks. They all look freaking badass. Let me show you guys my favorite panel. Here we are, literally the last panel of the book. The guy that can control bears shows up, and he's probably a villain because it looks like he just killed the guy who could control the wild boars with his bears. But this is what I'm talking about. The way their gear looks, the way they're drawn, like they don't look like superheroes. I understand it's not supposed to be a superhero comic book, but like it's just more of like a sci-fi feel, and the art alone makes me want to read through the entire series. So those are my top 3 books read last week. Let's set this down. And let's finally jump into the vlog, and then I will see you guys right back here for when we go over the haul that I picked up. What's good, doo-doo heads? If you're watching this, it's because I cut out the original intro that I had recorded because it probably sucked and I didn't like it. So I was going to tell you what the plan for the vlog was. Of course, we're going to go to some comic book stores, but then I started thinking, as a grown man, is it appropriate to like plan anything? No. So as a grown man, you should be moving off of primal instinct, and that's what we're about to do, so just rock with me here. Real quick, before we jump into being on the road to the comic book store, the next segment, I'm going to explain to you guys why I have this tool bench in my apartment. Some people have been trying to flame me about this. They really seem to care that I have this unfinished tool bench in my apartment, and to that, all I have to say is, again, as a grown man, why are you decorating your apartment? Bitch, are you serious? As a matter of fact, let me show y'all what a real grown man's apartment should look like, man. Give me this, man. All right, apartment tour, check it out. Look, my pillowcases don't match. These aren't even all the same pillow style. I got this lamp here, right? Notice something about the lamp. It doesn't have a place, and it's on my headboard. Real grown man shit. I did not think twice about where I should put this. And you may notice something else about my room, bro. Look at this. No decorations on the wall. I don't even have that mirror hanging up. There's my comic books. As a grown man, bro, as a grown man, why do you have anything decorated in your apartment? Look, there's nothing on my wall in this bitch. Literally nothing. Bro, look. I don't even have a picture in the picture frame. Notice another thing about the crib. When I talk, as a grown man, when you have your own spot, there should be an echo in that bitch. Because that means you have nothing, okay? You see this couch right here? This couch is the only piece of furniture I ever bought. You know how long it took me to buy this couch? A long ass time. Because I was broke? No. I had motion. I had the pape. I didn't buy the couch because I never... I'm laughing, but it's so true. I never sat in the living room, okay? I had a futon that I didn't use. Notice something else, bro. You see how I have this little bar here? This is my table where I eat food, right? I eat my food here, you know? But that table back there, that folding table, that used to be my table. When I was at my first apartment, I didn't have this. I would unfold that table and I would eat on it. Okay? This is how you should be a grown man and move as a grown man. I'm tired of y'all not following the fucking program. One last thing. Again, another random lamp with a dirt stain on this. Oh, do you guys think I bought these lamps? No. I got them out of a foreclosed business building, an office space. They left all their stuff in there. So why would I not take the free lamp? And you know, it just doesn't seem very smart to not take free shit. So that is how to live as a grown man 101. Now, even though I'm a pretty good example of how you should move as a grown man, I do have my flaws. I'm really trying to work on this right now. But as a grown man, you should only drink tap water if you're gonna drink any water at all, right? I used to be a big tap water guy. I do enjoy some tap water every now and then, but unfortunately, if we go to my fridge over here, you will see that I have one of these Brita filter things in here, right down there. And that is not something that I bought. That is something that my ex-girlfriend gave me. So shout out to her. If you're watching this, fuck you. Y'all thought I was finna say some nice shit. No, she did not do me right. So if you watching this bitch, fuck off. Anyways, let's get back into the content. So there's a lot of things you shouldn't do as a grown man. Some of them being like, as a grown man, you shouldn't shower naked. As a grown man, you shouldn't order a pink lemonade, like just get a regular lemonade. As a grown man, you shouldn't sit in a chair with a backrest. Like, bro, come on, man, stop being a pussy. Anyways, there is one major important one though that I think everybody needs to hear about. The biggest no-no. As a grown man, why are you posting on Instagram? Do you want to be a bad bitch? Come here, come closer. Let me tell you something. You're a man, you're ugly, okay? You don't look good. God took his time creating women, man. Let them have this. When God created men, it's like he took a piece of taffy and put it between his hands and said, and threw us on earth, all right? You don't look good. Are you trying to get flown out by an Egyptian prince or something? Because that's not gonna happen. It's not. Lock in. Grow up. Be a man. Anyways, on to the next segment of the video. Thanks for rocking with me so far, y'all. So, I don't know if this part will make it into the video, but I've gotten some people thinking they can flame me up for having my tool bench in my apartment. They ask what this is, and I tell them, I'm like, bro, that's my tool bench. That's where I keep my tools. And most importantly, I work on my guns. If you didn't know this about me, I'm into guns a little bit. I don't got that big of a collection, but I just bought a brand new 1022 for an insane deal. And I'm excited about it, so I want to show it off. So I'll probably be showing you guys here. Look, if you're anti-gun, that's cool, bro. Just don't be coming over here with a bunch of nonsense. I'm not going to argue about the gun laws or anything in the comments with you, but just know that I like guns. If you're on this channel, you probably like guns. Comic book channel for sure. That's just another hobby of mine. This is my lifestyle. So, you know, that's just what's gonna be in for this little segment of the video. So let's go through the collection real quick for y'all, man. Let me take y'all off the tripod. So first things first, these have all been cleared beforehand, so they're not loaded. There's no bullets anywhere. I have 5 firearms. In general, we'll go through them real quick. Here are my 3 pistols. Up there, my brand new 1022, Ruger 1022. And then from down here, we have my AR pistol, really just an AR-15 with a short barrel, but classified as a pistol. Let me get you guys back onto the tripod, tell you a little bit more about what we going on, or a little bit more about what we got going on here. All right, so first things first, this is the first gun I ever owned, Springfield XDME, the subcompact version. I got a couple different magazines for these. I got an extended one. I got the one that's, well, subcompacts, you can carry this. First gun I ever bought. I really love the way this shoots. I haven't shot any other handgun that shoots quite like it. I put a TLR-A on there, TLR-8A. This is a flashlight with a laser. So I'll put some B-roll up of me putting the laser on the wall. It has a strobe mode. I'll use that, but yeah, man, very cool. This is kind of my house gun. I don't ever take this out the crib to carry. This just stays in the crib. So, but I do train with it though. I do train with it. It's just not my carry gun. Springfield Hellcat. We put a Hollow Sun on there that my brother got me for Christmas. Shout out to him. Green dot, of course. All my optics on all my guns are green dots. It's just what I prefer. I also threw a blue Apex trigger in there for a cleaner trigger pull. And this is my carry gun. Oh, I almost forgot. You guys probably see my 50-round drum mag right here. This is for my Hellcat. Very stupid purchase. Why is it a stupid purchase? You would never carry the Hellcat with a 50-round drum mag unless you're, you know, being an idiot. This is just for shooting at the range, just for having fun. But look at this thing, bro. 50 rounds in this, and I'm just sitting there just... Sometimes you gotta buy stupid shit like this for your firearms. Bam. Glock 26 Gen 3. I actually really hate Glock. That's a lie. I don't hate Glock. I just don't really mess with Glock like some people mess with Glock. I think it's a good gun company, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The Glock 26 Gen 3, I'm gonna move my hand, the baby Glock, don't want to flag myself now. The baby Glock, gotta be my favorite Glock, man. If I had to choose a Glock to use every day and carry, it would be this one, but I'll probably get another Glock at some point. I might come Glock 19, but Gen 3 26, all reliable right here. All right, moving on to the big boy, but small boy. This is my AR pistol, bro. Chambered in 300 blackout. Got me a Romeo MSR, not a Romeo 5, but a Romeo MSR green dot sight up on there. I really like this gun. I don't know why I chambered it in 300 blackout though, bro. That was so stupid. I'll tell you why I did that, bro. I built this, bro, and chambered it in 300 blackout because I was influenced by the music, bro. I was influenced by the rap music. What I should have done is I should have just built a regular AR and chambered it in like 5.56 or 2.23 because 300 blackout, bro, every bullet that comes out of this is like $5 a round. I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's more like $1.50. It's just insanely expensive. So when I go and shoot this, it's like I'm spending a whole check, but I really love this thing, man. It was the first gun that I ever put together with following, directions on the internet, which is legal. Forgot to mention as well as that, I got these flip up sights, man. They're plastic, but in case the optic fails, boom, just flip them things up and you're ready to go. So moving on to my last gun. Again, my most recent purchase, the Ruger 1022. Get it in the frame. The Ruger 1022. I got me a 1022 because they're extremely fun to shoot and the ammo is cheap as hell, man. Like, if I'm gonna be wanting to shoot more and train more, I'm gonna wanna be using my 22 just to go for some plinking fun. If you don't know what plinking means, that means I'm just at the range, just basically fucking around, just shooting shit. What else would you be doing there? But when you're shooting 22, bro, like, it's just, the cost of it is just, it's dumb not to shoot 22. So anyways, back to the video.
And we are on our way to Capital Comics. What's good with y'all bitches? What up, though? What up, though? You know it is now that time for the part of the video where fourth wall break editing Jason comes in. And even though I'd like to make long form content for these videos, we're cutting out this entire segment because we don't want the video to be too long. But we're heading to Capital Comics and then we're going to go to Ultimate Comics. Let's see what books I get into. Let's see what I'm coming home with. And let's see what I'm bringing to the table of the comic book world. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the MTV Cribs tour as well as the gun collection, man. Just had to throw that in there to spice up the video. So, first things, fuck, god damn, man. Some shit in my throat. So first things first, you gotta get the fresh B-roll of the Capital Comics wall, and then we check out the recent run section. They always put everything on this table, unbagged and boarded. Is that a flagrant foul? I don't know, but whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on now. I knew my Gooner radar was going off. Marvel Comics Swimsuit Edition? Now, every time I go to the comic book store, I keep running into more freak fuck shit. Now, did I buy this? No. Am I gonna go back to the store to get it and review it for the channel purely for the content? If the good Lord is listening, no. But if this is a safe space, maybe. Anyways, when I came to Capital Comics, I wasn't looking for anything super specific, but I did know that I wanted some absolute Batman, and good thing we checked Capital Comics because they definitely had some issues in that I needed. I do currently have it in my pull list, so I'm getting the new runs, but I have to pick up these back issues, and I kind of hit you guys with a broke boy move right here. I throw this additional one on my pile, but then I put it back. I was on some bitch made shit, so I was trying to budget. But I was trying to budget because I knew I wanted that issue 4 of the Red Band Blood Hunt. I need that from the last video, and I think I find it, but I realize this is not a come up because this is just the regular version. Cool cover, but throw that shit back. So I do a little bit more browsing. We come up onto some more back issues of X-Men. Shout out that boy D Zane. He is one of the people who actually told me that my videos have made him want to get into comics, and it's pretty cool that you guys have been telling me that because I do enjoy making these. But check out this cover. Cable stomping out Professor X's bald ass. Pretty peak. And then we even got Gambit choking Sabretooth out. They really cooked on those covers.
All right, y'all.
back in the car. Nothing too crazy we picked up in there. We spent about like $28. Really just back issue hunting. I didn't get any new runs. I'm gonna save that for going to Ultimate Comics tomorrow. Yeah, man, I really didn't find any like new books that I've been wanting to get. Like I said, I just caught up on some Absolute Batmans and a couple other things. I did have 2 buys that I bought strictly for the cover. But you know, you'll see that when we go over the haul. But we're gonna shoot home. I'm gonna offload the footage from my phone to make room for tomorrow's shit. And yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's journey to Ultimate Comics, I guess. Just hit the time skip on you guys, man. It is now July 4th. We are on our way to go get some comics from Ultimate Comics with the buy 3, get the 4th item free sale they got going on. I got a couple books in my pull box already off rip that I'm gonna have to grab. And then I'm gonna check out the recent runs, see if there's anything else I think I need, throw them in my little thing, and walk out there hopefully with the deal. I don't know though, we'll see. The sale is probably just gonna discount the cheapest thing you buy to the free price, I'm sure. So that's probably how it's gonna work, but whatever, no big deal.
All right, we just pulled up to Ultimate Comics. Let's get in there, grab us some books. It don't look busy at all. I'm gonna try to get some B-roll for y'all, but it's a little bit awkward. It's just you in the store and you recording and shit, you know, because they might kick you out for filming. I don't know, but so let's get on in there and take this fat ass mic off my shirt. So Ultimate Comics had this whole like display stand of the whole Marvel Magic the Gathering collab. I don't know what comics are inside these bags, but the cover arts are so sick how they're Magic cards with like the superheroes. We even come across a super dope Venom one. I'm always gonna be in for that. One of my favorite Marvel villains, and yes, I like him better as a villain, but I didn't pick any of those up, but those were pretty sweet to see. I figure while I'm there, I might as well check the back issues because I was trying to get She-Spawn issue 3, but they didn't have any A covers. So that was a problem, but I didn't want to leave empty-handed. So we pull out this Black Widow with the symbiote on her. Really cool cover, but I'm not reading that bullshit. No interest in Black Widow over here, but we end up coming across Bone. I did not know this was an Image comic, and I know someone told me to check this out in my last video, but I didn't grab any because there were no single issues of issue 1. Back to the recent run section, I see the sick Only the Savage Are Left variant cover. I almost copped that, but then Odin had caught my eye, so stay tuned for that.
All right, y'all. We did our thing in there, and we actually picked up like 5 books. Actually, no, we picked up 2 in my pull box, and then 4. We picked up 6 books. I spent about $40, got one of them free. Actually had some cooler finds in there than we did at Capitol Comics yesterday, but they did not have an A cover of She-Spawn. So I guess I am going to Yellowbird Comics now because I know they're gonna have an A cover of She-Spawn and I need that. But just a little sneak peek of what I picked up. If you guys watched the last video, I had this in there and I didn't buy it, but I was thinking about it and they happened to have it here. The little sneak peek. Ooh, shit. Well, that's all y'all get to see, man. All y'all get to see. Till the haul, of course. Till the haul part of the video. Anyways, I got some shit to do. I'm a grown-ass man with responsibilities. I'll see y'all over at Yellowbird so we can grab She-Spawn issue 3, A cover ski, of course. And yeah, bro, see y'all there.
And as expected, we played our cards right. When in doubt, put your trust in the bird. It was worth the drive to go out there and grab that A cover, but I'd be lying if I was acting like I already wasn't going that way.
All right, quick in and out action. Got more than just She-Spawn. Knew I was gonna do that, but it is what it is. Let's get in the whip and get home and we'll go over the comic book haul.
All right, boys and girls, it's now a couple days later. Let's go through the haul and see what we picked up. So first off at the top of the pile, you know I had to go and pick up Corpse Night issue 3. We're gonna give this cover a 3. No, we're going to give the cover a 2 out of 5 just because the girl foaming at the mouth on the cover just kind of creeps me out. It doesn't really look appealing to me. Anyways, this was actually in my pull list and I haven't read it yet and hadn't picked it up. So I just grabbed it while I was at my LCS so I could, catch up to everything. But I've really been enjoying Corpse Night. Second issue wasn't that great, but hopefully the third issue can turn that around for me. I love the first issue and there's, believe it or not a whole lot of dialogue in this book, but the story has kept my attention. So on to the next one. We have The Punisher issue 6. I know issue 5 we just went over.
Again, if this is green, it's because I had to change the hue for YouTube. This is all blood. If it's green, this is all blood on his face, by the way. We're giving this cover a 4 out of 5. Cover is sick. Hopefully, a sweet-ass new villain is introduced in this issue. I'm excited for Punisher. If you guys haven't checked out the Punisher, the recent run going on right now, I think you should read it. Has not let me down yet. Next up on the list, She-Spawn. You guys see what we had to do to go and get this. I needed the A cover. The B cover was not hitting on shit, and I did not want to have a stupid-ass cover. Maybe I shouldn't say that because that's somebody's art. Anyways, I wasn't rocking with the B cover. We ended up having to go all the way to Yellowbird and Fuquay to pick this up. I knew they weren't going to let me down. I'm excited to get into She-Spawn issue 3. We're going to rate this cover a 3.5 out of 5. I thought the B cover was less than a 3, so the least I could do is go pick up the A cover. I think it's only a 5-issue run, so we're coming to a close here pretty soon with it. Next up on the list, more Spawn. We picked up Spawn issue 14. It wasn't something that I was necessarily looking for, but I seen it there in the box and I knew I did not have issue 14 and it was only $4, so I grabbed it real quick. We're going to give this cover a 4 out of 5. The Violator, as always, looks pretty sweet. Demon form up here, freak fuck clown form down here. Whenever I read Spawn, I always hear the Violator's voice in the animated series voice that HBO did. Same thing with when Spawn talks, I always hear, is Keith David the one who did his voice? If it's Keith David, I always hear Spawn talking in Keith David's voice. Anyways, on to the next one. You guys know I had to do it to him with this one. Rook Exodus issue 2. I think this is like a B cover or a C cover, but after reading issue 1, I was on a mission to go and pick this up. I did end up getting this at Yellowbird and Fuquay along with She-Spawn because I was already there and I knew for sure they would have it. This time, the guy did not try to talk me out of it. I'm really excited to get into issue 2, and I'm glad I picked this up. Even though it is a C cover or a B cover or a second printing, I don't know. We're going to give the cover a 4 out of 5. Covers have kind of been hitting so far with the haul, not gonna lie. Next up on the list, I had to check out Geiger. This was kind of a mistake purchase though, and let me explain. When I picked this up, I thought this was the recent run of Geiger that's going on right now, but apparently this is from like 2022 or something like that. I don't know. I thought I was picking up issue 1 of Geiger, the one everybody's reading right now. I picked up the wrong one. But I checked online and the reviews of this were still pretty good, so I'm not mad that I ended up buying it by mistake. And really, if I want to get into Geiger, and this came before the recent run of Geiger, shouldn't I read this anyway so I can get some lore on the character? All I know is that he is a radioactive man. This is an Image comic, so Image has not let me down yet. I'm not going to lie, Image has been hitting harder for me than Marvel and DC. But anyways, we're going to give the cover a 5 out of 5. I feel like this is a sick-ass cover. The Radiation Glow is a dope-ass character design, and this low-key reminds me of the, I can't remember his name. He was a villain in Batman Beyond, the TV show, the all green skull guy. That's what it reminds me of. But anyways, super happy I picked up Geiger. Let's see what we got next. Next up, we have a book I've been hearing a lot about. I picked up Odin, issue 1 and issue 2. Odin, as far as I know, it's about like a cult. That's what the guy at the comic book shop store told me. And I actually heard him talking about it to other people before. I was ear hustling him in his conversations. So when I went there to get the sale, the whole buy 3, get 1 free thing, I just grabbed this because it was going to be for the free ski. And I'm excited to get into it, man. I'm going to give this cover a 3 out of 5. I think it's a cool way it's designed with like the color palette and everything, but it's not something that really catches my eye. But issue 2 though, check this out. Issue 2, we are going to give a 4 out of 5. The bird on it is sick. I actually noticed issue 2 first because the cover stood out that much to me. So I'm excited to get into these. Let's see what else we got coming up in the haul. Next up in the haul, we got some classic bangers. What do we have? Here we have the Uncanny X-Men issue 213. Now, I had bought this just strictly for the cover. I am nowhere near this point in the Uncanny X-Men. I don't even own too many Uncanny X-Men books, but when I seen a cover with Wolverine and Sabretooth, it was an instant buy. It costed me, I think, yeah, only $12, so wasn't too steep. And we're going to give this cover a 5 out of 5. Of course, come on, who wouldn't give this a 5 out of 5? But what is the book behind it? The book behind it is The Uncanny X-Men issue 234. If you watched my Heroes Con vlog, you guys see me looking at this and talking about the Brood, how they used to scare me as a kid. After I left Heroes Con and I watched the video back, I kind of regretted not picking this up. So when I seen it at the comic book store, I was like, now's my chance. I might as well buy it now. Classic cover, man. Look at that. The Wolverine turning into a Brood. What would you call that? The Brood-verine? For some reason, that just sounds like gross to say. I don't know if that's a term that's been coined. If it hasn't been coined, I came up with it here, man. That's my shit. Anyways, this cover is going to be a 4 out of 5. Not hitting as hard as the last Uncanny X-Men behind it, but still a sweet-ass cover, sends chills down my spine. Let's see what we got next. Next up on the list, Pit issue 4. I've been reading through Pit. I think I've talked about Pit maybe in every video. If I haven't, my bad. I'm really enjoying Pit right now. A lot of the action that's on the panels sometimes is hard to follow, but it also is hard to put down. Yes, sometimes I don't know what's going on because there's too much going on the pages, but for some reason I'll sit there and try to study it and really get a feel for it, and I think that has something to say about the way it is drawn, that it's not completely turning me off from it, but I'm excited to get into this one. Again, another classic Image book. Image is just hitting, bro. I don't know what it is. Am I reading the wrong Marvel and DC stuff? They're hitting, but they're not hitting like Image. So anyways, on to the next one. For these next two books, I gotta send a shout out to my brother again because he is the one who put me on to this series. We have The Superior Spider-Man issue 18 and behind it issue 19. I'm nowhere near in my collection to having to read issue 18 or 19 yet, but I did buy these strictly for the cover. You guys already know why. Spider-Man 2099 on the cover. I did not even know he was in the Superior Spider-Man storyline. Hopefully, nothing bad happens to him. And let me tell you something, bro. If you guys don't know what the Superior Spider-Man is about, the Superior Spider-Man is about Spider-Man getting his body took over by Doc Ock. Like the first issue, Doc Ock is inside Spider-Man's body, and he is moving like a menace, bro. He is on a date with Mary Jane, plotting on, basically clapping cheeks, bro. And Peter Parker's in the back of his mind watching this happen. But anyways, issue 1 was fire. I'm super excited to get to issue 18 and 19 as long as Spider-Man 2099 is in it. And this is not something that's just throwing me off and just a cool variant cover or some shit. So issue 18, 5 out of 5 cover art. Issue 19. We are going to give this a 4 out of 5. Still a cool cover. Still got Spider-Man 2099 on there. But why does it look like he's being erased from time? Like, I'm not co-signing that. Spider-Man 2099 would beat the shit out of the Superior Spider-Man. I'm biased. I don't care. We're almost done with the haul, though. Let's see what else we got, and then we'll wrap the video up. All right. Our last two comics in the haul had to be Absolute Batman issue 8 and Absolute Batman issue 9. I picked these up because they just announced the animated TV show of Absolute Batman is going to be coming out. So now I'm feeling kind of rushed to get to the point where I'm caught up with everything, and I don't want to buy a trade paperback for that. So we had to pick up issue 8 and 9. That's what I needed next. Issue 8, we're going to give this cover a 4 out of 5, man. I believe this is Mr. Freeze in the background, and he looks like, what are those things called? A Wendigo. Y'all, if you guys know what the Wendigos are from, man, what's that game? What the hell is that? Until Dawn. Damn, bro. It's storming like crazy. But he looks like a Wendigo from Until Dawn. So we're giving the cover a 4 out of 5. Let's check out issue 9's cover. Issue 9, this is going to be a 3.5 out of 5 for cover art for me. Looks like we're finally going to be introduced to Bane, but I don't think the cover is that sick, but I do think it's better than average. So we're still going to give it the 0.5 because it needs to be above average, and honestly, I'm excited for Absolute Batman. Just every rendition of all the villains is sweet. I like how it's a twist on everything, and it has been a dope-ass read. So if you guys haven't checked out Absolute Batman yet, tap into that. And that's going to be it for the haul, folks. So, yeah, man. I appreciate everybody who's been tapping into the videos, leaving me comments, leaving me likes, subscribing. Hopefully you guys will keep rocking with me while I keep doing these videos. I'm doing them because they keep doing good and people seem to watch them, and I have nobody to talk about comics with. Oh yeah, remember, if y'all get me to 100 subscribers, I will go out and I will buy my first slabbed book, and I will let you guys tell me what you think I should buy if we get enough people who care to comment what they think I should buy for my first slab, as long as it don't cost an arm and a leg, because we are balling on a budget over here. I'm not trying to break the bank. I'm trying to make the bank. I'm trying to be the bank. I'm trying to stack the bread up. I'm a pretty decent bread stacker, so I can't be going crazy. But yeah, man. I'm out this bitch. See y'all on the next one.